Hey y'all, welcome back to P Square Sips&Convo with Pamela Guillory Lee and
Paulette Afro Angel Abby Memo.
And hello, we're going to talk to you all today about being boss babes, alpha females. What are they?
I know some of y'all men gonna have an issue with this, or maybe not. But this is not a male bashing episode. We're just talking about the characteristics and the facts that we classify ourselves as alpha females. So, what is an alpha female, mind you ask? Well, an alpha female...
Mind you ask.
Is that correct? Proper English. Okay. An alpha female is a powerful and successful woman, often in leadership role. Alpha females are often described as intimidating by men and women alike.
That's the definition?
That's one definition. I'm sure there's others, and let's see if we can find anything else that... 9 ways you can tell who is an alpha woman. Real quick. Alpha female, same thing here. I just looked up. A woman who has embraced her leadership ambitions. She's talented, highly motivated, and self-confident. I'm not going to lie. If I was a beta female, I would feel attacked because I kind of feel that beta females can also be in leadership and also be ambitious, but maybe not as outspoken as alpha female. I think it's more of the attitude, I guess, the outward appearance of an alpha female. I think that's what
Where did the term alpha female come from? Because I know, I just recently started hearing the word alpha female. Like, we really didn't, growing up, we really didn't hear alpha females. And then, in our parents' generations, they didn't hear alpha females because they were used to being in cohesive
society was different
homes.
back then.
Right.
Yeah.
So cohesive homes where the woman, if she worked, she wasn't the breadwinner if she worked. And her primary role was to raise the children and get the children off to school and do homework with the kids and cook and clean. So where did the term alpha female come from, I wonder? What generation did that term come?
I honestly feel when we got into the 90s and when women started fighting more for equality as far as pay, I think, and I don't want to use the word thing, I want to actually research on it, but I believe that it's probably started off from the 90s, where women just kind of took charge of the workforce. I think I just had to start definitely with that, how we demanded equal pay, equality as far as like getting promoted and things of that nature. I don't want to connect it with it being more liberal because that's getting into politics and I have my own little qualms with that. But I believe because we're in a generation now where pretty much women can do the same thing as men can do.
And get the same pay.
Right. Same pay, same respect. Not to say that we don't have our challenges because that's what we're going to discuss now is pretty much like what is being an alpha female about? What's the description of being an alpha female? Are people intimidated by alpha females? Do you hang with other alpha females and things of that nature? And is it a bad thing to be an alpha female? But
I like that definition of the alpha female because when people think of alpha female, the first thing that comes to mind is bitch. So that definition doesn't describe bitch. It describes an ambitious woman who's about her business.
So, but can a beta be an alpha female? That's why I said it's pretty. I don't.
What's the definition of a beta female? I mean, there's just a more. Is like a submissive woman. Like what is the definition?
And see, in this definition is more pretty much like the attitude or just the appearance of it. Okay, so what I'm looking up is beta females are women with a shy, empathetic nature. They consciously choose not to be in the spotlight and instead prefer getting things done from behind. Often beta females are mistaken to be submissive and the ones who would not take charge. However, this is untrue. And that's what I was getting into because to say the definition seems more stronger on the alpha female side saying that, okay, they take over leadership. Well, you can still be a beta female. You may take leadership, but from behind to where you're not in the forefront. So it's more about your character. Right. Yeah.
But still get business done. Right. You're just not in the forefront.
You're just not in the forefront. So I guess it just depends on are you seen more? Are you more outspoken? Right here, this breakdown what? The characteristics. They're mistaken as being submissive. However, that's untrue. As much as alpha females love to take lead and be in the ones of powerful positions, beta females choose to be part of the team and work from the shadows, from behind. They're confident about their position and choose to be led.
So I think I'm a mix between that then. I'm definitely an outspoken person. I'm definitely about my business. But I always have to be in the forefront of things. Like, everybody know me, like, y'all do all that. Tell me what I need to do. Not necessarily needs to be led. I don't have to be the one that's calling all the shots. I could be a part of the team, but I don't have to be the head of the team, if that makes sense.
Yeah. If, like, I can only go by just the way I was raised, because I have, in our family, I would say that majority of us, because it's 4 girls, right? The majority of us are alpha females. However, I do have a younger sister, the baby. I would describe her more as a beta female. She does, take charge of certain things in her life, but she likes to do things behind the scenes. She doesn't want to be seen. She doesn't want to be called out. She takes good care of herself and things of that nature. However, she doesn't like to be in the forefront. However, she takes care of her business the best way that she can. Now, me, I would say, because of my birth order, which I think that also plays a role into it, because I was the firstborn. When I automatically is given a task at times, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes I like to sit back and just do this. Because being the oldest, you always being the one that everybody looks to, like, you need to take control, like, that's exhausting.
Oh, God.
And I have a sister, thank God for her. I have a sister, second born, smart, brilliant, beautiful sister. And whenever we have a project or something that we need to do as a family, she is, it's kind of like we switch roles. We know how to take leadership, and we know, like, okay, I'm going to let her lead here because this is where she's good at. And then sometimes we'll just switch back and forth. Like, we've always had that type of relationship. So I would consider myself an alpha female. However, I know when I need to step back and I realize, hey, her gift is probably better than mine. Let her lead, whether she's a beta or alpha. If I see that you have a gift better than mine and I know that you can implement it well, I'm going to just go ahead and do this, because that's the wise thing to do. I think also being an alpha female, you also have to just be aware, like, hey, I might not have all the answers. I might not always want to be in the forefront. However, if this person can implement this task or this assignment better than I can, I'm going to be outspoken about it and be like, look, I'd rather you do this than I do it, because you're probably more of an expert than me. And so in our family dynamic, me and my second born sister, we kind of like bounce off of each other as far as leadership. I know when I need to be submissive, let her do what she needs to do. And I know when I'll be like, hey, pause, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So mine is, I'm an alpha female, but it's all about, like, depending on the task. If I know I can't do it, I have no problems to be like, you know what? I'm going to let you handle it.
I'm like that too. Like, depending on the time. Like, me personally, I'd rather not necessarily be, like I have been a boss. Like, I have run my own department, and
She is a boss. Yeah.
But I mean, like, in work. So I have been a boss and led my own department as a rehab director. I can do it, and I did it well. I just didn't like doing it. I didn't like the responsibilities of it and the 24/7-ness of it. But I can do it. I'd rather be on the team again versus leading the team. But I do have my own mind, and I am very outspoken. So, and I am an alpha female when it comes to handling my business. Nobody can tell you that I don't handle my business. I'm on my shit. So my business is handled. But as well, I can be the beta female when it comes to not necessarily all relationships. And not necessarily in my marriage. I'm not submissive by any stretch of the imagination, but I know when to keep my mouth shut, and I know when to speak. I know when to humble myself, and I know when to give it to him. So it's just like, I know the situation, and I know my place as a wife. I know my place as a woman. I know my place as an employee. But I am very capable of running the show.
Yeah. I think we're pretty much saying the same thing. You know, it's like, I think as an alpha female, you're in that position where you can bounce back and forth. Otherwise, like a beta could be in a position, but it's not like to where they're calling the shots as far as, okay, maybe you should do this. And, it's pretty much they don't mind being in the back, period.
Right.
They're not going to push themselves forward to be like, hey, let me take charge because I can do this, and that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I know, like, in my family dynamic, we, not to be Debbie the Downer, I would say I enjoy. It sounds very weird, but I really enjoyed planning my mother's, she just passed away, not to bring this up again, but I like the fact that our dynamic, oh my God, y'all, seriously, it was just awesome. Like, we knew where each sister had strengths, because, I hear the horror stories when you have someone pass away. Everybody wants to take charge all of a sudden. In our situation, we actually sat down as sisters and, like, number one, we're all adults. None of us here are children. And I've always felt like this over my sisters. I never felt like because I was the oldest, I'm above anybody. Mm-hmm. I feel like, I always told them, when I turn 40, y'all turn 40. And, I feel like we just quadruplets in my family. So, but however, we know who has the best strength and weaknesses in whatever area. So it's just like we were able to delegate and not overstep the other person's toes. And so even though we all have this alpha female personality, other than even my baby sister, like, it's like, we try to push her to be more in the forefront, but again, she chose to stay back. Mm-hmm. But she, was still able to, like, follow directions and implement what she needs to implement out. But as long as she was back here, it doesn't make her weak or render her weak. Mm-hmm. But I think when you know the dynamic of certain people and what their strengths and weaknesses are, because a lot of people, just like you said, a lot of people feel like when you use the word alpha female that you're intimidating or that you're a bitch. Mm-hmm. And I personally feel like, yes, it can come across that way. However,
but they're not synonymous of each other, where, like, a lot of people think that alpha female equals bitch. Mm-hmm. But an alpha female can have bitch-like tendencies.
Yes! I know some.
But an alpha female is not always a bitch.
Right, not always.
But sometimes people think assertiveness equals bitch.
Bitch, right.
So, I mean, we just gotta,
I guess it depends who uses the term, too. Like, especially when men, oh my God, when they hear alpha female, it's like they run to
bitch.
You a bitch, you got masculine tendency. I heard, child.
Masculine energy.
You got masculine energy. No. No, it's not that I have masculine energy. Is that you're intimidated about what I'm capable of. Right. What I'm capable of. So don't put masculine energy to me, because I want to take care of business and I know how this is all going to play out. So don't do that. But yeah, I mean, it don't have to mean bitch though. No,
but a lot of times it can. But a lot of times it's they're run synonymous with one another, and it's not. We have to separate the two.
Yeah, definitely separate the two, and not deem that as such a bad word. Because at first, it took me a while. Because I remember I used to hang with a group of girls, and it was actually the first time I've ever heard that term used towards me. Because I never thought of myself as, you know this, Pam. Mm-hmm. I was very shy, not outspoken. People say something to me, I start crying and shit. Mm-hmm. She had to push me forward to be that alpha female. I was not always like this. Mm-hmm. I was like the one in the corner, and Pam was like, "Look, friend, like this is what, no, friend, you don't let people talk to you like that." Like she was the what's the word?
I was a bitch.
No, I wouldn't say. But you taught me how to speak up for myself.
I was, but it seems like like
she was nice, girl. Please, she was no bitch. She was very nice. I just like the fact that when if she felt like something was being done wrong to her, and that's one thing I admired about her. When something was done wrong and she felt like it was not just, she'll let you have it. Remember that time, Kazataji?
Yeah.
Girl, you gave it to her.
But I don't act like that anymore. Like, now I'm just more
me and you switch roles.
We have, and I'm just too tired now. Like, I just
baby, I got all the time.
I don't have the energy anymore.
I'm the new Pam Guillory, okay? I will let you have it, okay?
Back in the day, baby.
Well, you got her baby Jane.
Back in the
day. Girl, let's see what happened.
No, let's talk about alpha female. Nobody wants to know how bad my
she wasn't bad. I would just say that people are not born being an alpha female, okay? I wasn't born being an alpha female. Even though I was the oldest, I was the one that was like, I don't like to be in the front, because I hated for the long time the fact that I was the firstborn. Because I feel like everything I did, I was always blamed for. Like, oh, your sisters are doing this because you did that. I'm like, no, they're...
You were the role model. You were who they were going to...
But I didn't see it like that because I was like, we're staircase. I really thought that me... Honestly, and not the fact that I was slow. Maybe I was. I really feel like me and my sisters were all the same age. So whenever I had my birthday, their birthday was with mine. I looked at us as quadruplets. I never was like, oh, I'm the oldest. Even though I did play that role a little bit, I never feel like, oh, because I'm the oldest, you got to listen to what I say. I'm like, if you want to run the street and let the guy run over you, it's your business. That's how I was. You know what I'm saying? But I was very like, oh, I didn't speak up. So when I met her, it was like, you need to learn how to speak up for yourself. Like, I don't understand.
I spoke up too much. I spoke up when it went bad. When it didn't, girl, baby, the preachers at the church, it didn't matter. It didn't see me. I had to learn. Anybody could get it. You were never too old to get it. You were never too fragile to get it. Like, anybody could get it. Like, and I don't know how many times I got my ass beat for running. My mom used to tell me, your mouth is your biggest problem. She used to tell me that all the time. Your mouth is your biggest problem. Because it didn't matter. Teachers, principals, pastors, it didn't matter who you were. But I have definitely calmed down. Like to me, I just don't have the... I think I did it so much when I was younger. That I'm tired. I don't even have the energy to do it anymore.
Yeah, like I got time.
Yeah, like we have definitely reversed roles. Definitely,
I got time. I will stop. This is how petty Paulette is. Can I be transparent with you guys? I'm so petty. Somebody had posted something on them. I ain't gonna tell you what it was about, but somebody had posted something on my Facebook, and it I ain't gonna lie, I felt attacked. I was doing a client's hair, and I had to put an extra 15 minutes. That's it, man. I'll be back. I got time. I said, I'll be right back. I went to my car and I had time to Reading Rainbow on this food.
Oh, I was about to sing the song. I was about to join
Butterfly in the sky, the whole thing.
Yes.
Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Take a look.
It's in a book.
It's Reading Rainbow.
It can be anything. Okay. Okay.
I want to sing the song and send him the voice message so he can hear it. Well, I'm about to read you. And I gave him time because you're not going to disrespect me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, however, I think the older that I've gotten, she's looking like, yeah, right. But I've been trying to pick my battles carefully. However, is it some things I just gotta be vocal about. So yeah, we switched roles. We
definitely.
But you still have an alpha female characteristic. Though.
I do. Yeah. Because I'm about my business.
Right.
If it ain't business, I don't have time.
So I really time.
If it's not about making money, if it's not about networking, if it ain't about business.
Right. Especially if it ain't about
family,
no money.
I don't have time.
Yeah. We talked about basically friendships. Okay. You know, how our friendship was being an alpha female. And I feel like the girls that we hang with, as far as our close friends.
We all are.
Yeah.
We're all ambitious. We're all about our business. We're all about elevating and moving up. And we all about, we're just all about our business.
Yeah, definitely so. And, we bounce off of each other's strengths and weaknesses, especially when we do our planning of parties or get-togethers. We know who's strong in this area. Hey, let this person take charge of this. And then I think being an alpha female, the responsibility is to actually learn to let go and let people take over certain leadership positions. So
people don't
have to be negative.
And like when we playing this stuff, I am beta. I'm falling way back. Let me know what time to be there, how much money y'all need, what y'all need me to bring. As far as planning, I'm not the planner. It's for these hands are not creative. My mind and my mouth.
So more than characteristics, it could be situations. It could be characteristics. Whereas relative, it could be certain situations like events. Like that, you said that's not your thing, so you kind of back.
It's not. Yeah. It's not at all.
Yeah, I'm beta when it comes to. I don't know because most of the time I'm alpha, but I'm beta when it comes to pushing out certain business aspects. Like, especially if I'm running behind someone's business, I tend to, or try to, now I'll give my advice when it needs to be given, but for instance, I work at a salon. I don't own the salon. It's not my salon. But, whatever changes that they're willing to do, even though I work independently on my own as a contractor, whatever the owner of the salon wants to do, I fall back and just let him do what he wants to do because it's his salon.
Right.
A lot of people look at alpha females like, hey, I'm just going to jump in and take over what you got going on. No, I think alpha female, there's also
and
responsibility.
some women are like that. I don't like that though. Some women are like that. And I don't like that.
And give alpha female the bad name. You want to take over people's stuff. That's not your business.
Like some women are just like that. I just don't like that. Like, not to say that you have to be submissive to everything, but you got to know your role. You have to know what role you play, where you are, and what lane you need to stay in.
I feel like that's being a true boss, really.
Right, for real.
It is being a true boss because some people don't know they don't know. Oh, Lord. I have met women, and not to make this a gender thing, but we're talking about alpha female, so this is relative to what we're talking about. But I have met women who call themselves alpha females, and it's like no matter what is going on, they have to be on top. And I actually feel like that's an insecurity. It's an insecurity.
Don't have to be.
Yeah, I don't have to. I'm good, baby. Let me rest.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
What was something else we were talking about?
Oh, so we talked about friendships. Now we can get into relationships. All right, so now we're going to get into the relation aspect of being an alpha female. So, as far as being an alpha female,
how are you in a relationship?
Oh, so I would say for me, okay, I've been in a relationship where I was the assertive one and my counterpart was the passive one. So it's like I made all the decisions. I made all the plans. Not to say that, we didn't switch roles. There were times when we did because, again, I'm the type of person, if I'm not an expert in that area, I'm not going to try to take charge. I mean, some things I just don't know. And I have no problem in admitting that. But it was to where that person was too passive for me. Not to say that that deemed him wrong for being passive. I feel like everybody should embrace whatever characteristics that they have, but it just didn't work out for me. Like, I like more of assertive man. I would like to be with an alpha male. I'm gonna say female, but male.
So you want to be with an alpha male?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel that we could bounce off of each other. People think that alpha and alpha can't mix together, and I feel like they can. I feel like they can. You just
have to be woman enough to let your man lead.
Yes.
Where his strengths are. But if your strengths are in finance and you just with somebody that's just blowing his money away, then you lead.
I will step up.
Yeah, but I think you just have to be woman enough to know, okay, let my man lead, and I'll follow, but I will not follow blindly.
Exactly. And I think that's where I would fall myself into a relationship. Like, again, like the way I operate is like, if I feel like you're strong in a certain area, I'm going to let you lead in that area. And when I feel like you're falling behind, I will try my best in the polite way to be like, hey, honey, like, I don't feel like this is a good idea. Because I learned my lesson, being in relationships where maybe I was too much outspoken or maybe just being too forceful and things of that nature. I mean, it's a learning experience in this whole dating world, any relationship. But I know definitely for me, I would prefer to be in an assertive alpha female and male relationship. What about you?
Okay, so I am very outspoken. I am much so about my business. I am able to handle my business with or without a man. So with that being said, most of my relationships, I was in one relationship where I was very submissive and I lost myself. I completely lost myself. I mean, my friends was like asking me like, yeah, like where, like
wake up,
wake up, like for real. I had completely lost myself, and when I woke up and became, who I was used to, I had made it my mission to never be that person again, and I'm not that person again. And I always said to myself after that relationship, I feel sorry for whoever I get with because I am going to be a bitch. And I wasn't that way, But my mindset is I'm going to look out for me always. Even in my marriage, I'm going to look out for me. Like,
put yourself first.
Carl could never leave me high and dry. Never. As well as I couldn't leave him high and dry. I mean, it works both ways. But we both like money. We both like having things. But I'm definitely as much alpha in my marriage as he is. He knows how to pull me in, reel me in real quick, which I like. I like that. Like, I like that he knows how to make me get my shit together, like make me get myself together when I get out of line. So I like that, but definitely I can hold my own. Mm-hmm. I could definitely be on my own, but I'd rather build with him than without him, and vice versa. He can hold on his own as well. So, but I just like the fact that, you know, back in the day, women stayed in relationships because they felt like they had to because they didn't have the means to go and do for themselves because they've been trusting this man and depending on this man for so long. I wasn't raised that way. I am so glad my mama instilled in me and my daddy instilled in me to get it on my own. Yeah. I'm so glad. But again, I'd rather build with Carl. And we create things together, but I can do it on my own.
Right. I think me and you was kind of raised the same way too, because like your mom definitely was a go-getter.
Yeah, mom, baby.
And my mom was definitely, she was the go-getter. You know what I'm saying?
We can talk about that. Like, my mama was definitely the alpha female.
Yes.
In our household, and your mom too. Like, definitely alpha females. We were raised by alpha females. We both were, but we were also raised in homes where the men were still there. Mm-hmm. Both of our parents were. We were raised in two family homes. But where our fathers were the lead, and we didn't see our mothers treat our fathers less than, even though they got it on their own. Yeah, I never saw that my daddy did not lead our home, and you didn't either. Although I knew my mama.
I never heard Miss Guillory raise her voice at her husband. She comes to my house, the same thing. You would never hear my mama talk down to my father. And in our household, you know, we wasn't raised in the traditional home as far as Nigerian. Nigerian is like that. Well, even now, if things have really changed, the opportunities for Nigerian women are just great. You know what I'm saying? However, my mom was the engineer. She was the breadwinner. And due to health difficulties, you know, my father wasn't able to be the breadwinner in the home due to the fact he did have a health issue.
But your daddy was an entrepreneur.
He was an entrepreneur, and he was a serial entrepreneur. He made jewelry, baby. He was a carpet cleaner, child. He was a carpenter with Jesus. I don't know, child. My dad did a lot of stuff.
Your dad was cool people.
He was cool people, man. My dad definitely made sure, as a man, even though, hey, I have this going on, I still want to provide for my kids. However, I know that I invested in my wife to get to where she's at. And I'm going to allow her to do what she needs to do to take care of this family, which they both agree that was okay. My mama loved to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and drive to work. That was her peaceful time away from her children. Let me go to work. She just loved it. I never met someone who took so much pride and joy taking care of her kids, and for 20 years, driving all the way from Cypress to Baytown. 20 years was doing that, and she enjoyed it. Now, was she tired? Of course. Was there times she wished she had days off? Of course. But she did what she had to do to take care of her 4 children, put them all in college, buy them cars. I mean, we were spoiled, you know what I'm saying? But never, for my mom to have the house in her name, cars in her name, never have I seen her disrespect my dad to make him feel less than. In our minds, the way we saw it as kids was, my mom's going to work, but my dad's the leader. She never put it out there until we got older and wiser. We were like, well, the checks do say Hava City was my mom's first name. I said, wow, the checks written for our tuition ain't got daddy's name on it. Oh, I see what's going on. It wasn't until college I realized, oh.
Yeah, and she was the one. See that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like, my household was different. My daddy got up 4:30 in the morning. My daddy got up before we got up. And sometimes didn't come home till after we were home. We ate, we kicking back, and he walking in the door. But my mom was the one that handled the finances. My mom was the one that made the decisions. When we would ask my daddy something, we would love for my mama to be gone, because when we wanted to ask my daddy questions like, can we do something that we knew my mama would say no, if she was home, it was always go ask your mama.
Yeah.
Always go ask your mama. But we would love for her to be gone so we can go ask him, because it wasn't, it wasn't no cell phones. It wasn't no cell phones back then. Daddy, can I go do this? It wasn't go ask your mama. He had to make the executive decision.
Right,
and my daddy was way more lenient than my mama. Go ahead, but don't tell your mama.
Yep, that's how it's now.
It was go ahead, but don't
go ahead, but make sure that you come home before she finds out.
Yes, go ahead, but don't tell your mama. So it was, my mom definitely led the household. However, my daddy was definitely the leader of the household, if that makes sense. And then it could have been, my daddy could have played that position, but just went ahead and let my mama, take that role. But definitely, I definitely saw my mama as a boss.
Yeah.
Definitely saw my mama as a boss. Definitely saw her as a boss.
And they did it so, they did it well.
Yeah.
Well. I mean, and again, you're a kid, so you don't know the detailed drama that happens between your parents, but from our eyes, we saw it like, wow, you can still be an assertive woman, still take care of your business, however, still honor and respect your man. So when guys be like, oh, you're an alpha female, oh, now I can be with a woman like that. Well, yeah, you can, and when I tell, or when you, before you was married, would tell guys like, hey, look, this is how we were raised. Like, we know how to respect a man. It's not like we're going to run over you. Now it's like unheard of.
I don't want a man I can run over. Like, I would, if I can run over you, it's a wrap. You can take me out, when I was dating, you can take me out to eat. But, because I love to eat. Okay. But that was that. Like, if I felt any inkling that I can run over you, then we can't be together.
Baby, I'll try to ride it as long as I can.
I need a man that can match my crazy, and I got one.
It choked me. I'm sorry.
So, I got one that can match my crazy.
Me.
Like, I mean, because he did, like, I'd be like,
just handle me. It's a little bit tighter. No, this is a Christian podcast, so we want to keep it clean and holy.
That is not what I am not talking about sex.
I am. Choke me too. And then aunties, please, I'm just playing. I'm just playing now. So yeah, relationships. So there's been through marriages that we've seen and stuff, things of that nature. We understand how alpha female can still balance out a healthy relationship in a good marriage at home.
But what do you think about men who submissive women? Like, I just can't see it. Like, I just can't. Like, I've been in that position to be the submissive woman, and I vow, like, never again, and I never did it again. Like, I couldn't see 41-year-old Pam being in a submissive relationship. I just, like, shit, kill me first.
I think that's where, if you were a beta female dating an alpha male, there has to be some type of trust, and to make sure that alpha female knows how to lead. Because there's some alpha females, males who could be toxic. Yeah. And we can talk about that in another podcast. Yeah. Toxic masculinity.
I hate that word. What is toxic? Because people throw toxic
words, child.
Masculinity for a man saying that men need to stand up and pee. Oh, that's toxic masculinity.
Oh my God.
That is not toxic masculinity.
Like, how dare you say that toilet bowl?
I hate that term.
Symbolism.
Like, a man can say, real men stand up to pee. Oh, that's toxic. Real men take care of their families. Oh, that's toxic. Like, I hate
baby, that's the generation we living in.
I hate that term.
Everybody throwing terms and stuff.
I hate that term because that's not toxic masculinity. That's just masculine. But then
you do have men that's like, oh, but a woman shouldn't do this, so I'm not going to allow my woman.
Okay, now that's toxic.
That's toxic. Yes. And so I think when you dig deeper into alpha whatever role, whoever plays whatever role, then that's when you gotta dig deeper. Like, okay, but is that a toxic trait that you're illustrating? So this is say you were dating an alpha male and you're a beta female, and then that's Lord, I wouldn't want to get in that relationship. That's why I said
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't
Mm.
want to be in that relationship. Like I wouldn't. Now I'm okay with Carl taking the lead. I don't care about that, but taking the lead and controlling me. That's two different things. That's that's two different things. Yeah. I'm not. The only person that could control me, quite honestly, was Betty Guillory. That's it. That's the only person that I was scared on this earth that I was scared of. That's the only person that could control me. Mm-hmm. But next.
Yeah, that's something to think about. You know, but I think we'll maybe do another podcast on that later on when we get some guests. We want to get some people that lived it and put them on here. So that'll be a good little podcast, friend. That's a good idea. Okay, so let's talk about the workplace. How is an alpha female at the workplace, and has that worked for you?
I'm beta at the workplace because it ain't my company.
It depends. Me again. Mine's all about scenarios and where I'm working at. My first corporate job, I tried to be a beta, but when I saw how people were handling business and people were abusing power, and I'm not gonna say what company that it is, but some of y'all right now listen to this podcast, you already know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of abusive power that was being used, and I wouldn't say it was like bad. I mean, it's a very well-known company. Did they treat me well? Did I have good benefits? Yes, they took good care of me. However, you had some of those women, and we're talking about women right now. For me, women, alpha females, and when they see because alpha female knows another alpha female, they could look at you and just tell. Okay, especially when I started at this company, they could tell. Oh, look, that girl right there. She gonna be a hard one to deal with. However, they doubted me because at times, like she said, I know when to withdraw back when I need to withdraw back. However, if I notice that you're doing some crazy stuff, I'm going to call you out. And see how I'm leaning back in this chair, I'm about to fall out. Because I mean that. All right, if I see you doing some foolishness, I'm gonna call you out. This is stupid. This is gonna harm the team. This is gonna harm the company. What do you mean that you're going to start doing this, and that? No, I want to speak out on it. Yeah. I'm not going to allow people to mistreat or abuse their power. I'm sorry that I'm yelling straight into this mic. I'm sure. Y'all, make sure you put the ear away. Because, I heard other podcasts, and I was like, why are you shouting? I'm very passionate when I talk, and that's just, we good. But I have seen people abuse their power. And I'm like, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? Like, no, like I'm gonna speak up. I'm the type of person like I speak up when stuff is done wrongly, right. And I know that it's wrong.
I used to. I don't even like.
Yeah.
Again,
I'll be like, girl,
in a leadership position, and anybody that was under me would definitely let you know that I was the coolest boss ever. Look here. Y'all do what y'all gotta do to make me look good. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make y'all look good. And we a team, you know.
Make it easy.
But because I'm definitely cool and laid back and easy going. But and I played and I was in that role and I did it well. I excelled. When I put in my notice, my administrator was like, "No, you're not going anywhere," because I generated revenue. I mean, my team was like we did it.
You showed good results.
I showed good results. I just didn't because when you're in a leadership role, not only are you responsible for your numbers, for your role, for your duties, but it comes along with the responsibility of the team too. And so you have to deal with the team with their issues. And when I say issues, I don't necessarily mean bad things, but you're still responsible for your team, and you're leading a team with different personalities, different things going on. So it's not only about you doing your job, because your job depends on how well your team performs.
Right.
And so I just did not like it. But now I'm just basically like a contractor. And it's not my company. I come in, I do a job, and I'm out.
Right.
It ain't like if you want me to walk on this ceiling, I'll figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm out. Right. That's it. I don't care. Like and
that's such a good feeling.
I will dance a jig on this ceiling for you, and I'm gone. Yeah. I'm done. Yeah. And when I leave, it's done. I don't have to worry about it, and I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's how I kind of feel too. Like now, where I'm at compared to back then, I work with a team of all males, which I feel like is good for me. I'm not saying that black women can't be toxic, because they can. Yeah.
We'll be right back. So I've refilled. Sorry.
Hey. So I work at an all-male salon. I'm not saying that I can't work with women. I can work with women. The way that I operate is that I've learned, I think it's all about balance, right? I've learned not to put my emotions to the workplace. One thing that I've learned at this new salon, and at this salon that I'm working at, I've learned a lot, and not just by doing hair and things of that nature, but just how to conduct myself as a co-worker amongst other people, because I believe in energy is everything. And you want to come in an atmosphere where you leave your troubles behind, which I had a hard time doing that at the previous jobs, because it was all females and everybody used to, girls everywhere. Everybody, girl, you won't believe what happened to my baby daddy. He dropped me off in my car and now I ain't got no car. I'm like, girl, oh God. And then when
baby boy situation.
Yes. And I'm just like, I mean, it was just drama every single day. And I was just like, and I didn't have a lot of drama. Thank God I didn't. But it started to feed into me and I was over it. Okay. So where I'm working at, it's a male dominant. I want to say dominant because we all work on our own individual as contractors. But I love the atmosphere because I've learned to do well at what I do, focus on the client, and make sure that they're happy, and I go home. That's it. I'm not trying to tell the owner, this is what you need to do at your salon, blah, blah, blah. I go home. And if he wants to make changes, I follow what he does because he has our best. I noticed with him, he has our best interests at heart. Shout out to Jeff of Man's Touch Salon. Hey, Jeff. I love you so much. That was the best place I've ever worked at. And I'm learning a lot from these guys. And it's just a wonderful experience. And I'm learning a lot about myself and how to conduct myself as a business owner. So if I was to take off and start a business, I didn't know how to, make that balance, per se. But I love it. And so whatever he does, I'll just follow. Hey, you want to change this?
Yeah, that's a situation where I follow blindly. Like, okay, because it's not my company now.
Not. How you going to try to tell people how to do their business?
I have my own things on the horizon, which I'm excited about.
Yes.
But that'll be my baby. That's me. That's all. Your baby. That's all Pam.
Right.
But where I work now, it has nothing to do with Pam. I'm paid to provide a service. I provide that service and I go home.
Exactly. We all got our things that we're working on and doing. And you don't want to kind of clash that together. Just focus on you and let their people run their business way. If they want to run this to the ground, that's what they do.
That's what they do.
If you want to ground your place.
and I'll be sinking with them.
Okay. As long as I get a check.
Right.
Okay, so last question, and we're going to round this up. Do you feel that people are intimidated by your alpha female personality?
I don't, because you can see it in my walk, you can see it in my talk, but I am a very approachable person. I am very nice until you piss me off or until you cross me. So I don't think people are intimidated by me because I do have a resting bitch face, but at the same time, when you talk to me, that's just my face. Like that's just my face.
Everybody knows that's your face.
Well, I don't know, and I really don't care. I don't care, but when you get to know me,
that's just
how I be looking.
That's the same with me. If you got to know me to love me, child.
But no, I don't think people are intimidated but I don't try to make my presence intimidating. I'm a lighthearted, fun-loving person, so I'm always laughing and joking and wanting to have fun. So no, I don't think so.
I feel like people are intimidated by me, and I feel, and that it's kind of besides it, but it works with what we're talking about. I too have a resting bitch face, but I guess my face is more aggressive, and I'm not gonna get into the reason why, kind of deals with the other podcast.
What podcast?
The colorism. I feel like as a darker skinned women, we come across, especially by my appearance. And I'm not saying my appearance like I'm ugly. I just feel like I may give off or maybe look like I'm intimidating. But when you meet me, I'm even now, like I'm a big teddy bear. However, I can be very defensive. I'm the type of person like, I want to come for you before you come for me. And I learned that over some time. At first, I used to be like, oh, I'll just let people treat me any way that they want. But now, I'm more like, hey, if I smell a certain energy, and if I feel a certain energy, I want to come for you before you come for me. You know what I'm saying? It's dog eat dog. Like don't come for me, especially when I feel like that you're doing it. And sometimes there were times when I was wrong. That person wasn't coming for me. They were probably just intimidated by me, and I get it. But once they meet me, I'll probably you cool girl. You know, like times people asking you to go out for drinks and stuff. I'm talking about strangers. There's times, like for instance, I went out Thursday by myself, minding my own business, and I seen somebody that I saw back in high school. And I sat there, and this one dude was like, oh, you look like he's so mad. I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm having a drink. I'm good. And my homegirl that I knew back in high school, oh, Paulette, I didn't know if I should approach you. You look like you was mad. I'm not mad. What's up? Oh, well, come sit at our table. Girl, we had a blast. Like, we had a good time. Like, that's just me. I'm a good time girl. Like, I like to have fun. However, if you come for me and I smell you coming for me, and sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I may be right, but don't please, I beg, just don't try it, okay? So, am I intimidating? No, honestly, I don't think I am. I'm really cool until you, just like she said, until you do something to prove that you're trying to do harm to me. Yeah, I'll come for you.
I'm chill until you piss me off. I am very nice. I smile. Very welcoming, approachable, until you make me mad.
Yeah, I'm a good time girl. Hey, let's have fun. Let's drink. Yes. You know? But please don't come for me. Because I don't know. I feel like people be trying to test me, bro. You know? But that's another story. Maybe that's just Paulette. But I feel like some people be trying to push my buttons. I'd be like, I don't know why you're doing that, because I don't care. Some of the people that care about, I don't care about. And they feel like I care about it. And when they push my buttons, I'd be like, I don't care about that, though. Like, I don't care. That bothers me. I'm just like, why are you doing all that extra? Like, I'm just trying to drink my drink, go home, you know, maybe read my Bible scripture or two, you know, pray to God, you know, but I don't know.
Meditate, manifest.
Yeah. But alpha females, I feel like in some situations they may come intimidating, especially like towards certain men. But I feel like it does take a very strong, confident man to understand that, hey, that woman just wants balance and she likes to take charge over certain things. And then if they have a good chemistry and it works.
And then we come from a generation, our generation, where we're not our mamas. Well, we are our mamas because we're both about our business. But
yeah,
a lot of women, we didn't see our mamas be. I did, she did, but a lot of people in our generation and before didn't see their mamas take control or be that boss woman, that business woman, or what have you.
Still, respect their husbands. They didn't see that.
And then we come from a generation of, well, it's new to the men that we're dating because they're used to submissive women. Anyway.
That's another podcast.
Yeah.
Child, it's just a whole scrambled eggs of what people assume and not assume these days. It's like, oh, you're too masculine. Oh, you're this and that. I'm just like, whoa, pause. Wait a minute. Like, hey, whoa. But this wraps up our conversation of being an alpha female. And, hey, we're going to wrap it up. Have this discussion with your girlfriends. Are you an alpha female or not an alpha female? If you have comment below. Subscribe and show your friends. This is not to attack males, but, hey, we're having this discussion. So
it is what it is.
Yeah.
So let's clink, 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 clink. Thank you for joining in with P Squared Sips and Convo. We love to hear from you, and we love to do this. Hey.
Clink, clink, clink.
Yes.